Hello, everybody. It's your girl, Kamisha Tyler, aka Cerathea I Am. And on this feed, we're going to talk about the snake of that runs this system of white supremacy, satanic worship. Now, here's what you got to understand. They know the measures to put into place or set into place that heal the people, right? They know the things that uplift our spirits from extreme grief, that uplift our spirits from, I want to say anger, I want to say frustration, and all those things. Now, this system, the snake operates to keep you in grief, frustrated, angry, and all those things. You know, the killing of our children, the stealing and robbing of our money, the lying on us, the blaming us for all those things, right? Because it's a control mechanism to keep you down and out. Because when you're down and out, they perhaps feel like you're more controllable, right? Which is, unfortunately, what this Hinton guy has just debunked, right? Because we as a people are getting extremely exhausted with the misuse, the abuse, the blame, the ridicule, the lying, dishonesty, just the lump sum of the blackmail, the threats of your livelihood being unraveled or whatever by their doing, right? We've gotten to the point where enough is enough, right? And so this Hinton guy, the one who killed this cop a day after his son or his child was killed by a cop, is debunking their ideology or the belief that if we keep you in afraid mindset, not afraid, but I'm talking about afraid as in not having a focal point or a leveling to where you're going, they feel like we have control over you, because now we can call you insane. Now we can put all this mental pressure on you to basically have you eventually give over your entire life to their will. So with that said, they have the things and they know the things that uplift the spirits of the people, right? But instead, because it's a money thing, a money game, they'll give you medications. And I'm not suggesting anyone stop taking any medications. That's not my place. However, I'm speaking on the experience of they prefer to keep experimenting on you, giving you different medications to continue to feed this opioid or drug what's the word? Drug dependency. That's what I'm looking for. Where you'll have to continue to go to them for your fix. Now here's the snake, because what he does is you'll only be given the things that are the natural things that are necessary to uplift your spirits when they want to use it for their benefit, right? When they want to say, okay, well, look, this person is in good spirits, we can now say they can do this or do that. We can now say it's okay for us to take this from them, take that from them, because these things were given to them in their state of grief. Okay? Now here's the issue. Because they allow you to be in good spirits long enough for them to rob you, steal from you, exactly what it is they're trying to take, and then they throw you right back into your grief and your anger and frustration, right? But at that time, they won't give out to you the same kind of diagnosis that you were eventually given on the first time, because you didn't operate under their control in the way that they expected or they wanted you to. And most times what I've noticed is it's a matter of them being sexually obsessed with us. Okay, so if you are not in tune with yourself and you're out of it, then you're more prone to have sexual mishaps or things happen to you, violations, gropings, touchings, molestations, and then if you speak on it, they'll shrug it off and say, well, you know, they're on this drug or that drug, they're on this medication or that medication, as if you are so sexually in love with and lust with them that you made it up all in your head. Now, if you do if you educate yourself, you'll find out that these are the ones that tell you that they are the ones sexually obsessed with us, melanin folk. Okay? They want to have their way with us, right? And so this is the snake of America or USA, whichever one, that you'll continue in this cycle, right? And if you don't pleasure them by the means that they desire to be pleasured, then you'll suffer at the hand of their leprosy. Okay? And that includes your whites, your Hispanics, your Latinas and Latinos. So you have to be careful when you're out being sexual with these clans of people. You got to be careful when you're out making children with these clans of people, because as soon as they don't get their way, they use the child and they're coming after you. And the system is going to back white supremacy, satanic worship. Okay? So if you are an Afro-Negro American folk, if you are Pan-Africanism, right? But which Pan-Africanism don't okay that, so they may be safe. If you are Afro-Negro American folk, it isn't suggested that you involve yourself in that, you know. But if you do, you have to know that you are going to be given the short end of the stick, because you are in, I don't know how I can say it enough, white supremacy, satanic worship. And what happens is they'll get those who they know are on a leash or have on a tight rope by those circumstances I just mentioned before. And they'll get you to operate outside of character of God. And they'll be willing to be seen as the face inside the occupational building of what the scheme was to be done on your brethren or your sister. Okay? So what am I talking about? What I mean? Let's take someone like me, right? I know, and I'm very much aware that these people are sexually obsessed and they want to have their way and get what they desire out of me at any cost. Okay? But when they can't come to me directly and get that reaction or the response that they're looking for, then they'll go after people who are connected to me. Now, if I am friends with or connected with my own brethren or another black person who has stepped outside of what the biblical text, God's commandment was, and not involving yourself with these sick, leprous, mentally leprous beings, then the lepers know that an open door to me is through this mutual friend. Now, let's say that friend decides to say, well, she's done nothing to me. I don't really want to antagonize her or attack her. The things, the wisdom and the knowledge that she's speaking makes sense. And so I don't want to operate against the will of God. That is only going to more aggravate the lepers. Okay? So now they're going to go into the courts and create and make up and deceive and be dishonest, making false claims against the mutual friend, right? Because they want to have their way. And so now if you have a child with them, they're going to trump up all kinds of costs for you to have to either abide to the scheme that they're trying to place, abide by that scheme, or they're going to touch and hit your pockets. It's no different than the story of Ibrahim Traore and the black guy that military official that they're using as the open door or the portal to reach the person that they're trying to get to, right? And so everyone understands, they know that it is essential to our livelihood for us to continue to have the things necessary to survive. And as a matter of fact, my very first video, I talked about this, where they're very good at convincing you that you are a slave to them when they attack your essentials. This is why, at this point, we can only urge you all, black, Afro, Negro, American folk, brethren and sisters, Pan-Africans, okay, Pan-Africans, do not go to bed with your enemy. Stop sleeping with the enemy, because you will be made to choose ye this day whom you will serve. Right? And when you have the devil acting as though they are God, giving you choice, when you make the choice or the decision not in their favor or not for their white supremacy, satanic worship, then it will no longer be a choice. Then they will hit your pockets. Then they will come after your mental peace. Then they will come after your spiritual soundness. Okay? Knowing that when you first start going to bed with them, they're not going to give you problems because they've already got you. But as soon as you actually grow up and become a man, become a woman, and make your own decision for your own spiritual soundness, we've already said it, the masks will come off, and you're going to be hit from the left, you're going to be hit from the right, and then you're going to have to make a decision to say, it's either myself or to act as a demonic force against my brethren or against my sister who has done nothing to me but loved me, encouraged me, lifted me up, right? The natural way for a spiritual uplifting. But because you've entangled yourself unnaturally, you are an open door, an open portal for the unnatural way of doing things to find its way within my space or within my area or within someone else that you care for and respect. Okay? So now we're in a position where we have to be understanding to the situation that you're put into. And just like you have to choose ye this day whom you will serve, between the white woman or the black woman, between the white man or your brethren, we have to look at God. Do we turn our back on you for the sake of our brethren? Or do we continue to keep our eyes toward the mark of the call of the mark, something of the high calling, right? Keep your eyes toward the mark of the high calling. You understand what I'm saying? Because they feel like if they can make you fall, then somehow you will reach within our soul and make us fall away right along with you. It's not hidden. right? The reason the Bible talks about the nakedness of Adam and Eve is because you cannot hide from the Spirit of God, right? You can cover things up, yes, which is biblically proven as well, because God came and asked Cain, what have you done, or where is your brother? You can cover it up. But if you believe that the truth will prevail, then it's only a matter of time before you are found out. Shall you continue on sinning? Or does faith only is faith only acceptable to a certain extent or to a certain level in your life where you are being made to face the consequences of your choices? If it's live and let live, you lived in the manner and in the way that you felt was feasible for you in the moment, right? Which is what God said that He was going to allow us to do. You'll be given over to your reprobate mind. Lean not to your own understanding. And so now when you see across the street the consequence of your decision, and you're facing it's either me or you within your own version of righteous partnership or coexistence, more times than not, black folk, African Americans, you all are too readily okay with siding with the enemy. There will never be change if you do not make the change. Okay? So don't come out here pretend that you have faith. Don't come out here pretending that you are riding with the Spirit. Don't come out here pretending that you are 100% for God's way before your own. And then when God shows up to show you, okay, now here's what I want you to do, but here is what the lepers want you to do, or the seed of Cain would like for you to do. Who do you choose? What route do you choose most of the time? If not every time. It should not happen sometime. Right? But we have to have enough understanding, enough wisdom to know this enemy and how they operate, and see when it is attacking one of our own. Right? This is all the divide and conquer. This is why they make us so individually dispersed, that when I'm in need of help, I can be no help to you. When you're in need of help, I can be no help to you. Right? It's a fraction of divide and conquer. We can talk about it till we're blue in the face. Right? But it's your action that's going to make change. And look, I'm gonna look you in your face and tell you, and those who know who I'm talking to know who I'm talking to. I see what you're doing. It is shown. Your nakedness is seen. Right? This is why most of it is by what you can prove, because when you're talking about a spirit, they know it's the unseen realm of things. Right? So I know what you're doing. Right? And whether you take that as forgiving you, take my silence as forgiving you, because the Spirit is constantly showing itself. The Spirit is revealing itself, and more strong in this day and in this time. Because the spirit of things has had enough. You are taking natural power and you're trying to manipulate the energy that wasn't yours from the beginning. It didn't start with you. And so that energy from which it came from is reeling it in and say, no. I'm not going to put all this out for you to go and sabotage and mar up and tangle up the righteous way of doing things, or the righteous way that I flow. This is what the Spirit is saying. Right? So you need to align yourself in the flow of the Spirit, which is the natural uplifting of spirits, which you are aware of that exists. This system is aware that it exists, and it purposely, on purpose, pulls in the opposite direction to keep you from being where you need to be spiritually. So on that note, I hope you all enjoy your day. Love one another, right? Be strong for one another. And you have to find and utilize the wisdom to get yourself out of the physical entrapment, the mental entrapment, emotional entrapment, spiritual entrapment of these leprous, evil, demonic, wicked beings. Right? Siding with death, because the wages of sin are death. Right? You need to join with life. And I'm not talking about being alive. Right? Because death can happen outside of sin, and you can be alive outside of living. That is what's life. Balance, right? So on that note, because I'm starting to get a glare on this phone, and I think I'm going cross-eyed, I'm going to talk to y'all later.